Hello, you lot. How you doing? Is all right. Welcome everyone to NFTV. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Well, it's another big game for Newcastle United this weekend. It's against another relegation rival because Brentford have been sucked right into it. There's a clutch of teams now who are in that relegation zone, which we're all going to talk about tonight. We are live, but if you are watching the rerun of this video, please let us know in the comments down below your predictions as well. And if you're watching live, get your predictions in, how you think the game is going to go. So welcome everybody here to the video. If you can, start off by smashing that like button, that would be absolutely wonderful. It does help out on NFTV. And as I say, welcome to the latest video here. Tonight we are going to be talking about, we're going to have a look at Brentford, their recent form, a bit of team news from their side. We'll also have a look at a bit of team news from Newcastle side, what Eddie Howe said in his press conference today as well. So we'll have a look at that. And also we'll try and predict the lineup as well. And we've also, like I say, got a bit of team news with Newcastle United. And if you want more videos, our members have actually just received 5 exclusive videos the last 5 days. So that's kind of good, isn't it? These are getting your money worth out of us there this February. So there's a join button underneath if you want to say more. We don't just collect your money. We do stuff for you as well. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, welcome everybody. We'll jump to the comments first. Hi, R31 the tune says Wolfson. Evening V, I hope you are good, doing well. Mitch is saying 2-0. Hopefully to right, he says Fraser and Gucci. That's if Gucci plays. But we'll come to that in a second. But yeah, we're going to take a look first at Brentford. I want to start off with the opposition, and we're going to use the share screen facility, and we'll talk about a little bit about Brentford first, and then we'll get on to Newcastle. Now, this is the team that Brentford normally go up with. I'll put this full screen so you can see a little bit more clearer. There you go. So this is the team that Brentford, not so much the personnel, but this is the team predominantly that they play with. This is the last game out when they got beat off Arsenal, and they're on a horrible run, which we'll take a look in a moment. And as you can see, they're pretty much outclassed by Arsenal. Obviously, Arsenal have went on to win again the other day as well. So Arsenal are absolutely flying at the moment, but you can see that they were well dominated. Literally, they're losing out on almost everything. Well, in fact, everything. Well, the winner not offside, but it's not really a stat, is it? You're not going to boast about that. But if you look at passing, you look at the passes, the amount, the possession, the shots, they're well down on everything. So Brentford are struggling big time at the minute, aren't they? And if you take a look at the results, just have a look at all these L's for losses. They're on a horrible run. And if you look at the most recent ones, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've lost 8 out of the last 9 games. If Newcastle want a team in the Premier League that you want to go up against, it's this team. And they haven't even won none in the last 9 either. They picked up 1 point. And obviously they've been put out the FA Cup as well. They're on a shocking run. Absolutely shocking run. And Newcastle need to basically capitalise on that, because if you look at the fixtures that Brentford have got from the Bees perspective, if you're a Brentford fan and you're thinking, shit, we're on a shocking run, but who do you want to play? You probably don't want to play Newcastle as such, but it's still against a relegation rival. So they've got Newcastle, Norwich, and Burnley. So if you're a Bees fan, you're thinking, this is the perfect opportunity for us to pull away. Because then if you look who's coming up after that, you've got Leicester, Chelsea, and West Ham. That's a tough 3 fixtures. So Brentford will be looking at these 3 games and thinking, do you know what? If we can get maybe 6 or 7 points, we'll pull ourselves away, because that's all it'll take. But big game for both sides. And obviously we'll talk about Newcastle in a moment. We'll just pause and just see what he's saying. Hello, pal. I hope you're doing well. Nathan's saying 3-0 Newcastle. So he's very, very optimistic about that black and white as well. Hello, Ollie, one of our members who's just been talking about the membership just before there. ILA, do you think this is a must-win, especially with Burnley getting another big result the other day? Yes, I do feel like Newcastle should be winning this game, because we're the ones on fantastic form. 6 unbeaten, 7 if you include the friendly. I'm sticking by it, mind people. 7 if you include the friendly. And I've just talked about Brentford's results. They've lost 8 out of the last 9 games, and they've drew 1. This is the team that you want to play against. Low on confidence, losing it every week. You kind of ask for a better fixture. And that's away from home. And I know early on the season, it was spectacular. Was it 3-3, I think it was, early on the season? I remember just Ivan Toney scored against me when Darlow's at error. But yeah, he's likely to be back, actually. But we'll go back to have a look at their form. It's just horrendous, isn't it? And it's been a while. If you look at like how many wins they've picked up and what, the last, well, there's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They've only picked up 2 wins out the last 14. So they're on a shocking run, loads of L's, and you can see the odds if you're a betting man, which we'll come on to very, very shortly, because the odds are favouring Newcastle. So if you're going to put a bet on, we'll come to that in a minute. But they don't change the system. They never do. If you look here, and we're on whoscored.com, they've only changed the system once this season, and they're still playing 3 at the back. So it's always going to be the wing-back system that they're going to play. Obviously, Rico Henry on the right, Canos has been playing on the right as well. But even if you look, this is their seasonal 11. But if you look at their last match, there's not huge amounts of changes. They don't rotate loads of times. Yes, Ivan Toney is probably likely, perhaps, to come in, potentially. But you know what you're going to get with Brentford. They know that they're a passing team. They know that they've got a lot of pace up top. But the form's horrendous. I mean, you cannot really ask for a better fixture than this. You cannot. And if you take a look at the league table now, it is so tight. I personally think it's from Brentford downwards. I think Villa and Leicester have got too much. I don't even think they're in it. And then you're looking at 14 to 20. Anybody could go down at this stage. I know Newcastle are on the best run of form here. Out of everybody, but Burnley are winning games as well, which Eddie Howe did talk about. I know Ollie asked about that just before in the live chat, but Burnley have obviously picked up a couple of wins of late as well. And funny enough, Burnley have lost the same amount of games as Wolves, who are sitting in 7th. Mad, that, isn't it? Absolutely crackers, absolutely mental. So it's a tight, and it's Everton. I think Everton playing Manchester City, if I believe. Yeah, Everton playing Manchester City, so you expect Manchester City to win that. So if Newcastle win and Burnley win and Everton get beat, that puts Everton in the bottom 3, and that's massive. It's massive pressure, isn't it? It's huge pressure. So, Bees, yeah, Jolly Tune for Life, how are you doing? The target now is reaching. Are you being clever here? The target, as in Matty Target, the target now is reaching the safety zone. So winning this match is very important. Exactly, you've got to beat the teams around you. You've got to beat the teams around you. For this is Newcastle's mini league, if you want to call it that. So Jordy's gone out and say he thinks it'll be harder than what most fans think. He thinks 2-1 for him as well. But as I say, if you are a betting man, you've got to look at Newcastle, and if you want some free bets, have a look at our sponsor on today's video. Hello everyone, we're just pausing the video dead quickly to tell you about our new sponsors, who are Profit Accumulator. Now you're probably thinking, what is that? Now, if you're like me and haven't got a clue about match betting, this is absolutely fantastic. I've never heard of this before. They'll search, which is Profit Accumulator, they'll search online for all the best free bets on any outcome that you want to put on. So if Newcastle, of course, playing this weekend, you can bet on Newcastle to win, to draw, and lose by placing free bets. You cannot lose. It's fantastic. I didn't even know this was out there. Profit Accumulator also have a step-by-step guide on their website if you're a novice like me, and they'll go through it with you. It is absolutely fantastic, and you can't lose any money. It's free money. Have a look at the link in the description down below. So last week I won just over £6 on a free bet. So have a look at it. It's worth it. I put on for a draw, and I said it on video that Newcastle will get a score draw, and I was right. So yeah, free bet turning into £6. £6 in my pocket. Happy days. Have a look at it. Link in the description. Cannot lose. Free bets from all the sponsors out there with our sponsor Profit Accumulator. Fantastic. And I think you get I think it's up to £40-odd free bets as well with their trial. So have a look. Why not? And if you bet man, I'll say again for the tune with me. But one man who is going to be back, and this is my only slight worry about Newcastle, is because if let's just say Newcastle are winning 1-0 after 65 minutes, 70 minutes. This man is back in football, everybody. And it's not the game really I want him to come back. I know he's been through absolutely some shocking stuff. And I remember watching the game in the Euros, and I was like, I couldn't believe it when the cameras were still panned on him when he dropped to the floor at Denmark's game. That's my only concern. Not for him as an individual. He'll be buzzing, and Brentford fan, and it's great to see. But if Brentford get a kick from him coming on, I don't think he'll start. I think he'll be on the bench, and I think he will come on. And I think that'll just give Brentford a lift in that stadium, regardless if they're getting beat or not. That's my only slight worry, that'll cheer them up. Because but it's a big day for him and his family, and he's a lovely bloke as well. So it's great to see him back in football. But I really didn't want it for this game, to be honest with you, not against Newcastle. But we'll talk about Newcastle right now then. So we'll move on. We'll just see what you lot are seeing as well. Melissa, how are you doing? I think ESM won't be known until the very last minute. Yes, we'll come to him in a second or two. I think Callum Wilson will return next week. Don't think it's that early, to be honest with you, Wolfson. I think it's going to be a few weeks yet. I think it's going to be the end of March. I don't think it's straight away. And is it time to start Bruno midfield? I wouldn't personally in the midfield three. I think the midfield three are playing really, really well. I don't see why we should change that as well. JP, West Ham United's TV says, good evening, all. Good point against us last weekend for you boys. And this game should be entertaining to watch as well. There will be goals in it, but I think it'll edge it. Yeah, we played really well against West Ham. We should have got a little bit more out of it as well. So yeah, let's have a look at the tune. We'll talk more about the tune as well, with a bit of team news and what Eddie Howe has said. And I'm going to try and predict 11, which is always a little bit of fun at the end, isn't it? So Eddie Howe has said about Javier Manquillo and Ryan Fraser. And you can see all of this on our Twitter as well. If you follow our Twitter, all the news Sam puts us out on the press conference news every week. So Manquillo has done some training this week and has made a swift return from injury. So he'll be in the squad. Ryan Fraser missed the early part of training, but has done a couple of days as the weeks progress. So we expect him to be fit. Is that a massive hint? I think so. I think Manquillo will start. I'll already give you a spoiler for my predict 11. I don't want Emil Kraft playing. Emil Kraft, because I was worried last week and he gave away that stupid free kick. Free kick comes in, goal. So hopefully, even if Manquillo can't make the full 90, I'd rather have him start for 70 minutes. The same as Ryan Fraser. I don't think Fraser will play the full 90 if he's only had a couple of days training. I think you'll play definitely towards an hour, maybe 70 minutes, and not Manquillo. Almiron comes on for him. I would expect that, or ASM, because ASM is going to be late test on him to see if he's going to be fit enough. But Eddie Howe went on to say about like the new players and stuff. He's went on to say, I've never felt players' heads were down, but confidence had taken a hit. There's been a big difference. We need to help them individually or more intensely on certain parts of the games to help them get more of them. The team has been lifted and has a bit more freedom. So he's talking about how the morale was down when Newcastle were on that bad run in November and December when he came in. And obviously the players of the new players have given the squad a lift, and there's competition for places. And that's all we want as a football club. When you look to your bench and you think, right, we need someone off the bench who's going to change the game here. Newcastle in the past have had like Hoslu, and they've had Jeff Hendrick sitting on the bench and Christian Atsu. No disrespect to them, but they're bargain basement players. They're top end championship players at best. So you can look up on the bench and think, you know what, you've got ESM to bring off the bench this weekend, because yes, he can't start, but it's a bit of squad depth there, a little bit. The squad is getting better. You got Bruno Guimaraes quality as well. I think he needs a few more minutes. I don't think he'll start, mind, but I think he does. And a little bit more on the new players. How went on to say in his press the other day is that the transfer windows enable us to add some very good people to the group. But I do think the players we've had progressed through in weeks and have improved. They mix that all together, and it's been a powerful one for us. So, Chris Wood is getting a bit of criticism, and I've slightly criticised him as well. But at the end of the day, he's probably the one who's been single-handedly pointed out by Newcastle fans. But Chris Wood's played in the last 6 games when Newcastle are unbeaten. So who else are you going to play up front at the minute? Because Dwight Gale just isn't fancied by Rafa. He wasn't fancied by Bruce. He's not fancied by Eddie Howe. So someone can train about Dwight Gale. He's not going to play up front top, and you kind of chuck ESM up top, and I'm not really wanting Joe Willock to play up top either, because I know you could do a job there, I guess. Or, I mean, even Ryan Fraser had a bizarre half an hour up top against Cambridge. But, Chris Wood, he's winning a lot of challenges. He's bringing the ball in. That's the way fans are looking at it. But all the new signings have come in, and, Matty Targett looks really assured in the 2 games that he's played as well. And I wasn't clamoring for his signing. I was like, I don't know, he's a good squad player, but is that it? And it's the same as Dan Burn, which I want to bring on to the next one. Because he's gone on, as Eddie Howe was talking about, the defence improving, the likes of Targett and Dan Burn. He said they've taken to what we've asked them to do excellently. They defended very well, which is the job.
I don't know that.
As my Alexa wants to say, she doesn't know that either. You might have heard on the background there. But really, we've helped our team. Dan especially has used the ball very well. He's been very composed, talks well, and has leadership qualities, which is key, because whatever you think of Jamal Lascelles as a player, Lascelles does have leadership qualities. And when you've got Dan Burn in there, who's talking and pointing and Trippier does that now. Trippier's injured at the minute, but the more the leaders you've got, it's only going to help the team out. And, time will tell whether these two lads will be good signings, but for the short term, so far, absolutely fantastic. Long term, not so sure. I think the jury's very much out for me, but Newcastle's main aim is just to stay up. That's all it is, just to stay up as well. We'll have a look at what you're saying in the comments before we'll move on as well. Joanne's going to say that Bruno's a superstar, better than Joe Linton and Willock. So put Willock or Almiron right midfield because he is faster. Not for that. I'm sorry, I'll disagree on that. I'm not for Almiron playing right wing. Hasn't got a foot. Has not got a foot at all. Nah. Almiron for me is out the door in the summer. I've just lost a lot of patience with him. If you are going to play Almiron, I'll probably play him on the left if you are going to start him, but I think Fraser will. I think Fraser and Murphy will play. I think they'll start. Loved his pre-match press comments as well. Melissa's gone to say, I think we've always had quality, but the heart wasn't there. The motivation, the drive, the team that's playing now compared to 3 months ago is night and day. Totally agree with you, Melissa. Totally agree. It's funny, the old saying, confidence in it. It's not just football. You talk about like life in general. You got a bit of confidence about yourself or whatever you're doing professionally or as an individual. If you've got confidence, you feel on top of the world, don't you? And it's more positivity for you. And it changed things drastically, even if he was to start Bruno. And I can't wait for him to start. I can't either mind. I'm not going to lie, but I don't think the midfield three should be breaking up. But she goes on to say it could be damaging the whole house of cards as far as more team morale and drive. We'll crack on. Speaking of him, because he was next. Yes. Bruno Guimaraes. He's gone out to say Eddie Howe on him. He's an intelligent player, and I think he understands his position. We know what's on the horizon. We have a lot of games to come. The fixture congestion will be packed as the season unfolds, so he will have a lot of opportunities to cement his place in the team. That's, for me, Eddie Howe's telling us he's not starting once again tomorrow. And I'm not against that. There's a lot of games in March, and that 3-game away week is going to kill me because I'm in all 3 of them. So I've got Southampton away. I'm down London away for Chelsea. And I've got Liverpool. Well, it's Everton, but it's in Liverpool. So 3 long journeys in 1 week. I think you probably will say Bruno will start maybe even 2 of them. I think the midfield will get rotated around there. So I think that's a time where you might see him starting to play a lot more games. You might start the one or might start one before this congestion, but I think that's where he'll cement his place in the team. And I think he'll stay in if he shows us what he's got, which we're all excited about and all waiting for. That'll be the time for me where he'll come in, show us what he's got, and he'll be literally in the team for the rest of the season. If you're liking this, please smash that like button. Help us out. Help us out. Please do. Thank you very much. If you have done, you are a superstar. So, so Bruno Guimaraes, we'll wait. I don't think he'll start. Eddie Howe's gone on to saying, there was a comment earlier on about Burnley's form, of course. There was no surprise in Burnley's results. They'll never give up. And this is what he thinks Eddie Howe it'll go to the wire, the relegation scrap. We have to take care of our own business by consistently winning. It won't be given to us by others, but it's our destiny is in our own hands. And if you remember, just a few weeks ago, even I was saying it's 3 out of 4. You look at the league table which we had up earlier on in the show. It's literally 7 teams are in the relegation scrap now because we've picked up results. Burnley have picked up results. Norwich had a spell a few weeks back. So Watford are dropping slowly down the league. Leeds are struggling big time at the minute. Bielsa's out of contract at the end of the season. Lampard hasn't really had that manager bounce yet. They've got Manchester City tomorrow. And then you look at Brentford and freefall. We've already talked about Brentford. So, if Newcastle obviously win and take care of Brentford, the big push to pull away, but it's very, very tight. I'm more happy that there's more teams in it than it was a few weeks ago because it was literally 3 out of 4 that were going to go down. Now it's 3 out of 7, so we've got a lot more to play with. And look, I'm still going to be looking at results. Of course, we are. We're looking at everyone's results, thinking, right, great, they've lost today. They've picked up a point there. Shit, they've won. Fuck, we have to win our game. I think that's natural for any fan to do that in a minute. I think you did, didn't you? ESM. And then we'll have a look at what he's saying in the comments in a second. So the big one, would ESM be available? He's not going to start, even if he makes it, because Eddie Howe has said that we're going to make a very late call on him. It's not serious, as was said initially. He's been away for some intensive treatment, so obviously know he's been back in France. We'll hope he's back in the team and making an impact very soon. And then he goes on to say when that'll be is slightly unclear. So even if ASM somehow makes it, this game might be a little bit too soon for him. A place on the bench, maybe for the last 10, 20 minutes. Again, that'll lift us because if we're struggling, they've got Eriksen coming off the bench. That'll be a massive lift for them. We're struggling and we're drawn or we need something. You've got a couple of options with ASM. You can put him up top alongside Wood. You put him in the 10. You put him left or right. There's a few options for ASM. He'll not start if he makes it. But hopefully, it's just his presence on the bench. And you look across and think, great, we've got Bruno on the bench. We've got ASM on the bench. We've got a couple of options there that we could possibly look at. So let's have a look at what he's saying as well. Jodie's got to say, what up top? Yeah, definitely. He's also went out to say that I know Eddie Howe likes a 4-3-3. But if we changed it to 4-2-3-1, and then we can play without dropping any midfielders. So this will be his team: Dubravka, Manquillo, Sherburn, Shelby, Bruno's the 2, Fraser, Willock, Joe Litton as well. Yeah, it's an option. I don't think you will. I personally wouldn't, not when you're 6 unbeaten. Newcastle have never lost with Wood. Have we not? That might be a good start. That I don't know. Have we not? I'm trying to think now. You've stumped me on that one, Melissa. We're going to need Bruno for that stretch. You'll get plenty of game time, as in the congestion. And yeah, Joe Vem's going to say Brentford using a 3-5-2, so it depends on long passes over the midfield to get 3 points. Now, if you watch the West Ham game, because he makes a good point there, we were playing two different styles of football. We were trying to get the ball out wide and go with pace, but we also mixed it up with long balls. We were looking for the runners over the top all the time because I was quite low down in the London Stadium. You could see directly, and he was trying to go for the long balls from the right back to Wood, and Dan Burn was doing it as well. So we were mixing up a little bit, which was good to see. We played a little bit more to Chris Wood's strengths, but I think if you want to get the best out of Wood, you've just got to pepper that goal and get some crosses in. So yeah. Speaking of teams and stuff like that, we'll have a look at what I think. Hey, if you just want to play along in this, please do. Please do, because we're going to try and predict the starting 11 full screen for you so you can see. And I'll keep coming back and have a look at the comments, and I'll display them on screen, what you think. I very much doubt that you're going to disagree with me with a goalkeeper. We all know Martin Dubravka. It's good to see him actually not being picked that little bit, because he was starting to make a few not clangers, but there's always a clanger in him. Him and Darlow haven't been fantastically. They've had better seasons previously, but yeah, Dubravka, he seems a little bit more solid now. Over the left-hand side, I think it will be Matty Target. I can't see why you would change that. You'd be daft. He's had a couple of good, solid games, in particular against Jared Bowen. We all thought, West Ham's best player. He handled him really well. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to say, obviously, Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär has been brilliant, and this is the best form he's played since Rafa left. The past 6 weeks to 8 weeks. Fabian Schär has been class. For me, he's the best defender at the club at this present moment, centre-backs. I know Dan Burns coming and have a couple of games. So there's a couple of questions here I want from you in the live chat. Because centre-back, and we talked about it a little bit earlier on the week with Johnny and Sam, does he continue to drop the captain? Because he's done it once. Will he be brave enough to do it again? I think he will. I think he will keep the captain on the bench once again. And you know what? I'm not against that. I know Lascelles has got his leadership's quality. But Dan Burn and Fabian Schär, why would you change it? Why would you change a team that's breathing with confidence and playing superbly well? You'd be absolutely crackers to change that. As I say earlier on the video, I think he will make it. I think he will get in, Javier Manquillo. But it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't make the full 90, that Kraft comes on later on in the game. And that's what I think the back four will be with the goalkeeper. Tell me what he's saying. But he's going to say Burn and Schär have been a great pairing. Yeah. Villa are in trouble as well, and Gerrard knows it. They will pull clear, but they have squeaky bum times. Yeah, I think Villa and Leicester will pull away. Murphy's not bad, but Almiron is faster as well. And that's some player behind me. Must have seen me photo then. Les Ferdinand. Oh, yes, Sam. Well, is that what you mean? I hope you mean. What's that? Are you on about this? Sir Les. ESM. Allen. Great players. Right, back to the team. Distracting us, man, are we? Right. I don't think you'll change it. Please let us know in the comments whether you think Not that you want it. Do you think you'll actually play Bruno? Because I don't think you will. I think you'll keep the. I can't even spell Joe Litton now. I think you'll keep the midfield three, and I'm not against it because Joe Willock has been absolutely class the last few games. Shelby looks so much better. Joe Litton's like a revelation. I can't see him bringing in Bruno. He's already hinted that he's not. I'd be quite surprised if any of you say that you will. I'm quite surprised about that. But moving forward, then I think it'll be Chris Wood. We've got nobody else. We haven't. We've got anyone else. So it'll be Chris Wood. I think you will play Fraser, despite you've only been having a couple of days. I don't think you play the full 90, though. Like I say, I think it'll probably be an hour to 70 minutes. And then it's the left wing. And I think it will be Jacob Murphy once again. I don't think Murphy was one of the better forward players last week. But at the moment, I think he's slightly, and I don't think it's massive, mind. I think he's slightly better than Almiron. Because for me, I've lost patience with Almiron. But that's the team that I think Eddie Howe will go with. So it's the Brav Karen goal, it's Matty Target left back, it's Dan Byrne at centre back, Fabian Shea, Javier Manquillo will be coming in. So that's the only change that I can see happening. Fraser will keep his place, Wood up top, Murphy on the left, Joe Litton, Shelby and Willock. That's what I think Eddie Howe will go with. I don't think I'm going to be too wrong on that. If I am wrong, I think it'll only be one. Maybe it's an injury. I think ESM, if he comes off the bench, yeah, fantastic. Bruno Ramirez off the bench, yeah, great. But I think that'll be the team. Let's have a look what he's saying then. Jordy's gone to say, I don't think it will. All I was saying is that it'd be changed to 4-2-3-1, then no midfield player gets dropped. But I think it'll be the same as last week, except Manquillo. So you're agreeing with us? Yeah, spot on. Miggy doesn't have any final end product. Yeah, spot on. Top starting 11. Thank you very much. Fraser's the best player in Newcastle. I don't think he's the best, but his form is 100% improved massively. I think what's important about Ryan Fraser as well, he's enjoying his football for the first time because when he was interviewed last week and he was talking about it, he didn't really want to slag off Bruce, but he was at the same time. He's just being clever with his wording about it as well. And yeah, for me, for this match is final, get to the safe zone. Murphy will get more out of Wood. Would you swap the two wingers around during the game? Would you give Murphy half an hour on the right, Fraser on the left, and swap them around as well? Yeah, V's got to say, I don't think Manquillo is match fit. I agree on that, but I think he will start, and then I think he'll be subbed off. That's why I think Manquillo is a lot more safer and can't play Lascelles. Why should you change? Totally agree on that as well. But are you going to see the game? That was my next bit. Right. So, drum roll. I'm not at the game tomorrow. I'm not at the game. No, I couldn't get a ticket for it, but I didn't want to worrying about getting a ticket and travel and stuff. So I will be on the first watch along this season. This is the first game that I'll be missing, not including pandemic, because he couldn't go since Rafa's last game, which was a 4-0 win against Fulham. So this will be the first game that I've missed, not including pandemic, because I've been at every game, including pre-season, if fans were allowed in. So and then this is only my fourth game I've missed in 4.5 years. So I'll be on the watch along, and then we're going to do a live last word as well later on in the night. But we do have someone down the games, and NFTV are still at every single game. Adam. Hi, Adam. Adam's at Brentford for us. He's going to do a video whilst he's down there. He's going to do a match reaction for us as well. So we've still got plenty of stuff coming up also on the channel as well. We've got, you may have seen Sebastian Bassong, who was on the channel. Well, what I will say is that we've got, and I'm not going to, because members know who they are, but we do have some more famous guests coming up as well. That's all I will say. Someone very, very famous for the last 20, 30 years on TV as well. So yeah, we've got a few guests coming up as well. Once again, it does help out if you could smash the shit out of it if you can. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we shall see you tomorrow. We will be with you about 2:15, 2:30 in the afternoon, ready for the watch along. And then we've got scoring the players, and we're getting all the fans on as well. So if you want to come in, you'll see a link pinned at the top to get yourselves on, have your say on the tune. And then later on tomorrow night, I shall have the last word with you. Have a good night, everyone. Watch what you're doing, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ta-da.